Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lee Carlem and I create videos on psychology, mindset, life, and wisdom. And so if you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're back, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why nothing feels like enough anymore. So a lot of this has to do with, obviously, technology, social media, but most importantly, it is essentially our evolution as humans. Or technically not evolution. I don't really remember if that's the correct biology term. But anyway, it is essentially how we've grown as a society, as individuals, as humans. How we came from not having airplanes to having airplanes. How we came from, especially and particularly, how we came from really truly deeply valuing high school graduations versus now that's kind of like the standard. That really is a standard. And even having a bachelor's degree, that's a standard. I wouldn't say, or at least in my opinion, from what I've seen. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, if you have a bachelor's degree, everyone's like, okay, well, that's the standard. Right? You're not going to suddenly get a six-figure job just because you have a bachelor's degree, right? Depending on, which program you take. But back then, if you had a high school diploma, that would mean, such an amazing thing. But if you think about it, a lot of the information we have now is online. It is so accessible. Even these days, for example, kids, they have AI, ChatGPT. I didn't have that back then. I'm not that old, but you know what I mean? And so if you really think about it this way, there is so much more need for people who have high expertise in things. But there obviously is a need for people who have more of a generalized knowledge on whatever field it is. But the reason why I say expertise is because think about it back then. People like Mozart, J.S. Bach, or Frédéric Chopin, a lot of them, them and other musicians and composers and whatnot, they would have many skills. Like they'd be a violinist, a keyboardist, a pianist, a composer, a singer, a poet. They would have so many roles. They have so many roles. They know so many from different fields. But nowadays, it would be even more impressive if you could play more than one instrument. It would be even more impressive if you knew more than one language. It's even more impressive if you are an astronomer, a mathematician, a physicist, etc. Because of the immense amount of knowledge that we have this day and age. For example, there's much more research happening. Back then, if you did a bachelor's degree, that's amazing. But now, to actually really deeply understand a field, you probably need it all the way up to a PhD. Something even more. As days go by, as years go by, we're getting much more information. And so if you think about it, this is why some people feel like they're not enough. Even for me, I'm like, sure, I have a bachelor's, okay, but what's next? Maybe an MBA. Maybe some sort of PhD after that. And then maybe something else after that. Open a business. I don't know. Do more and more and more and more. And even another example, in terms of social media and online businesses, we see so many people take advantage of essentially the online gold rush or whatever it is. People selling digital product, doing online coaching, like online fitness coaching and whatnot. And doing all these things, or being an influencer, or creating communities, memberships, and stuff like that. Fun fact, apply for the free community called The Wise Minds, where we expand your mind, deepen your wisdom. Anyway, so that is essentially why nothing ever feels enough. For you, mentally, psychologically, or even out in the actual physical reality, so materialistically. There's just so many new possibilities, so many new things to have, so many different cars that you can buy. Right, sure, back then, of course, there's a variety of cars, but now you're adding on top cars that can drive themselves. That's a new thing. Back then, that didn't exist, so that's an extra thing on top of that. Private jets probably didn't exist back then, but now we have that. So not only do we have, the regular airplane, but then it's like, oh, you can also have that option of buying a private jet. So it is all these little things, right? Even things that you see on social media. Oh, well, she looks like that. He looks like that. And then you look at yourself and you're like, well, I don't have that money. I don't have that watch. I don't have that car. I don't have that body. And then you start comparing yourself with other people. You start comparing yourself with all the different possibilities that you see, not just on social media. But really, this can be connected to knowledge. It can be related to how many purses someone has, what they look like, what their eye shape looks like. It can be anything. Because you're being more exposed to so many different information, so much more knowledge, and just so many things. And it's literally bombarding your brain, bombarding your senses, what you see, what you smell, what you touch, what you taste, what you hear. And the more and more that happens in our society, the more and more we feel like nothing is ever enough, whether it's ourselves or whether it's about the things we have. And if you are not aware of this, if you don't start developing the self-awareness of this, and you kind of live life not really thinking about why it is that you feel like nothing is ever enough, well, you're probably not going to feel that great. You're probably going to keep making choices that you don't actually want to make in order to keep up with trends, in order to make yourself feel better because XYZ person has it. But once you are aware of this, and after you watch this video, hopefully, and if you remember what I say, then you'll be able to live life truly as you want. So definitely go apply to the free community. Link is down below to fill out the application form. Completely free because it's very new. So I'm going to take on some people. And I really hope you guys will like the community of the wise minds. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps me a lot, and I'll show up on your feed more if that's what you want. Apply. Link is below for the wise minds, and see you in the next video.